Hey guys, it's me the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. Well, today's recipe is Janmasthami recipe and I'm making a Panjiri. Well, a Panjiri can be made in 3 different types. The first one is made with wheat flour, a touch of semolina or rava or suji, whatever you call it, and ginger powder. Of course, the other ingredients remain the same. The second one, which is made usually for fasting days, and instead of all these ingredients, you substitute those with coriander seeds. You roast them, you powder them, and that's where you get the fasting Panjiri. And the third one is made in most Punjabi homes, where you make a Panjiri ka laddu. Not for another day, but for now, let's begin with the Janmashtami special Panjiri. The first thing is to mix the flour, which is the wheat flour, and along with this I'm also adding in 1 tablespoon of semolina or rava. We need to roast this on low flame. The flame could be low to medium. We need to roast this for literally 15 to 20 minutes on low to medium flame, like I said earlier, and we need to intermittently stir this. Ensure that it doesn't burn, it doesn't get burn spots. It has to turn fragrant, and you'll realize that, you'll see it that it turns nice, fragrant, and also kind of opens up in terms of its pores, and that is what we're looking at. Like currently, if you see, it's all looking closed, and you'll see it when you keep going further. The flour is roasted and ready, and if you see, it's become all separate. If you see, if I can just dust it like that, it easily falls off. Well, earlier it was all clinging onto the flipper. So once this is done, we just keep it aside. We can transfer it in a bowl, we can transfer it in a deep dish or a plate. And let's move on to the next step. And like I said earlier, it's all about frying the different ingredients in ghee one after another. So let's begin. The first ingredient that goes in a kadhai is ghee. We allow that to heat on high flame, and once that's done, we start frying the gum. This is also known as guar gum. Always check the heat of the ghee, and it's very simple. You just add in a little piece, and if it blooms like that, which is what we're looking at eventually, then you start frying the rest. If you miss this step because of haste, you may end up getting a very chewy gum. So remember that. Not adding everything, maybe half of it at a time. So you give it enough time, space to bloom. Very important. This is done and ready. Now this needs to be pulled out of the ghee, and in the remaining ghee, we'll fry the rest of the gum. The ghee that I'd used earlier has got exhausted, so I'm taking a fresh tablespoon. The next ingredient that goes in are makhanas, foxnuts. You stir these on low flame and ensure that it becomes nice, crisp and nutty. Well, foxnuts are basically a makhanas. They look like this, and you need to take these of a very good quality, and then you cut these into quarters. Let's start frying the rest of the ingredients. In this case, the nuts. Let's begin with coconut. Now this is copra or dried coconut. Just cut these into little pieces. This is going to take a little while because it is also going to now release its own natural oil from within. So now that these have begun to turn a tinge brown, I'll start adding in the chopped almonds. These are almonds which are cut into a half, and then I have cut these further down into 4. So eventually 1 almond cut into 8 pieces. That is what I like. But again, you can cut these even into slices. I'm using melon seeds, and along with this I'm using white poppy seeds. Mix all of this together and allow everything to roast well. Keep the flame low. Do not get tempted to turn the flame high because you'll end up burning everything. The nuts are roasted and ready. The last and final step is to mix all of this together. Now, if you would have noticed by now, to fry all of this, I have used 3 tablespoons of ghee. So 2 tablespoons is melted and kept ready. This will also get exhausted if you would have used it while frying the atta and rava. However, if you're not using it, then you can mix all of it right towards the end, which is also absolutely perfect. Well, I like doing it that way because then there's more control over the use of ghee. So the next step is very simple. You take ghee, add it onto the atta. And the next step, like I said, is absolutely simple. It's about crumbing all of this. You just crumble this like that. Of course, do not puncture all of them or break all of them, just a little here and there. That's just perfect. And mix all of this together. The rose petals and pistachio in this case are absolutely optional. You can avoid it. This is my personal addition. I like using it. However, I like it nice and fragrant, and because we're not using any other spice apart from ginger in this, I just personally like using rose petals because it becomes nice and fragrant. Well, Panjiri laddu, if you all make it at home or you want to make it from this, then you'll need a little more ghee, and you'll also need some cardamom seeds, some green cardamom seeds. So remember that, and it's just absolutely wonderful. Just mix all of this together. You can also crumble a little while mixing, and with this your panjiri is done and ready.
Didn't I tell you? It's a quick recipe, it's a simple recipe, and it's an easy recipe. Get the ingredients the way I've written in the description box. Get all those ready. Follow the process and you are never going to get your panjiri wrong. And for more such timely recipes, stay tuned.